Hello, I'm Jake Allen Graham. This is my review on the Andrew Garfield sequel to the Amazing Spider-Man movie from 2014, I think came out, or 15 it came out. Sometime in 2010 era is when it came out. I give this movie a 9 out of 10. I thought it was good. Sure, it was very rushed in a loaded mess. But it had the charm of the first Avengers movie from 2012 to me. It was as fun and made as much sense and seemed as practical plot-wise and character development-wise as the first Avengers movie did. Put in effort with. I give The Amazing Spider-Man 2 a 9 out of 10, and I liked and both found a confusing choice of the change of costume Spider-Man has versus the ones he had in the first one for his Spider-Man costume. I liked the change, but that was confusing change because I wonder what happened to the other costume. They got torn up, but what happened? Or does he still have it in this timeline? Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing for me. So anyway, so he has a new costume in this movie. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a different costume than the one he had in the first one. And well, I did liked a lot about this movie. There's some things I would have cut from the movie. Like, I would have liked if they cut it, like the opening was rehearsing and the origin story from a different angle for Peter's origin story, but it takes place from more the parents' point of view, what happened on the plane crash, before the plane crash scenario. They do that plot twist. You feel like you've seen that in a thriller movie. You do that plot twist. They go there, and I guess I don't understand, because the first Spider-Man movie retold the origin story, and now this movie's opening up with another retelling from the origin story, but from the adult's point of view, isn't as interesting, you know. And I mean, I think they should have cut the whole opening because it didn't go anywhere. The whole plane crash is not like it went anywhere or connected to the story. Do we really need that scene in the story? I don't think they did need that. They could have cut that out easily, the whole plane scene. I think the only reason why they kept it in because it looks cool. I think they should have just opened up the movie with Spider-Man swinging from the city. That's why I think that's like because they could have saved the film. Probably nobody would mind all the chaos that's happening. You know, like there's so many. There's a bunch of cool chaos and action, and that's happening in the middle when Spider-Man's on duty as Spider-Man. When it finally gets to him after the opening cutscene, that's massive and drags on with his parents. This just sucks. Like, they should have cut that out. Like, this is, like, completely unrelative to the plot of the movie. And I know this is the latest thing where they were going to bring Peter's father back from the grave and have him meet up with Gwen after. And have Peter meet up with his father after Gwen's dead. This is the deleted scene on deleted scenes for Amazing Spider-Man 2 on special features. You can find it somewhere else on the internet too. I know there's that deleted. That was here's the thing, that if they kept that scene in alone, it probably could have saved the movie a little. But that I mean, like, I think if they wanted to, like, kept, I guess I just trying to understand. You removed the deleted scene was Peter and his father meeting up in the funeral, which would have added purpose and meaning behind the opening cutscene of the very opening cutscene of the movie. Of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it's telling the origin story again, but instead from Peter's point of view, it's from the parents' point of view. And showing what they were doing that night. And where they were running off to and why. And to protect their son, blah, blah, blah. Because Oscorp shit is behind everything. Yeah, because this is later revealed in the film that Peter's blood, the reason why Peter's blood, something about Peter's, like, you know the spiders that bit Peter in the first Space Marine 2 from 2012 flick? Well, basically it's explained in this video that Peter picks up from his dad in this subway station that's sort of like a little hangout layer for his dad to do science fair on sometime. He made a personal video for Peter, and Peter got it, and he found out that basically Peter's something about that his dad did. He put his blood, the symbol of his blood, into the spiders. Like something about his blood, I think. It's explained in the plot of the movie. Anyway, so the reason why it's explained in the movie, interesting enough, it explained in the movie that the spider that bit here that gave him his powers and his ability to become Spider-Man, it was more so because of his DNA being the only thing common enough to it's explained briefly in the movie. It's like explained in the movie that the whole something about Peter's Peter's blood is the same blood type as his father's, and so Peter's blood basically is something about his, because he has the same blood type as, I guess he has the same blood type as his father, but I guess something about Peter's blood that is common with his father's blood. So that's explaining the discontinuity of Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise with Andrew Garfield. It's explaining that something about Peter's DNA is rare, besides just the spider bite that made him Spider-Man is a combination of both. So I guess it's kind of I wish they did a better job of explaining it, or made that scene longer with or maybe they just made a better movie and making me invest in this time around about the character. But they didn't make a better movie, so it is what it is. Although I really do like this movie a lot for what it is, I just wish it was a better movie. It's kind of my feelings with the first 2012 Avengers movie. From 2012, titled Marvel's Avengers. Is my feeling similar to that? Or Batman Forever. The last good Batman movie in the Keaton franchise. And then Batman Robin happened, and I realize I'm getting sidetracked, so best to stay on track. And that's why I give The Amazing Spider-Man 2 a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed this movie for what it was. And props to Andrew for bringing his endgame and trying his best for what the convoluted mess of script he's given was for his character arc as Spider-Man. Now, the strange thing is, compared to the first Amazing Spider-Man from 2012, is that this movie is more focused on what the Raimi trilogy did. And trying to repeat what the Raimi trilogy did and do it better. I kid you not, that's actually what their goal was behind this movie. Is not to continuation, not to make it more. See, probably why this movie is such a confusing. I think I know why I don't really love this movie as much, because this feels less of a continuation of the Amazing Spider-Man 1 from 2012. It feels more like reimagining sequel of the Amazing Spider-Man 2012 flick. Where's the whole tone and the aesthetic designs they go for the visuals and everything, and all the color temperature they go for the color grading versus the first one. It feels like they're not trying to develop Andrew Spider-Man anymore. They're trying to win back the Maguire fans instead of having Andrew grow into his own Spider-Man identity. Which really kind of pisses me the fuck off about this movie. Look, Maguire was great for what he was, for the time, for what he was given as Spider-Man, I thought. But I didn't think, look, in any of his Spider-Man, none of his Spider-Man movies were really the highest level of comic book quality class writing. I mean, look, I mean, I don't like Spider-Man One More Day comic that much, mostly because he makes a deal with Mephisto and retcons a bunch of canon history and events, and retcons because people forget who Spider-Man is, Peter and Spider-Man are the same person, and the continuity. This confuses me, you know? Like, I mean, but is this sad? But the thing is, the thing is, I like Spider-Man One More Day comic run, comic story more than Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, any of the individual ones. Was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man trilogy. I mean, I like them, but I only like them as much as Avengers Endgame or Infinity War. As in, I would give them an 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. The trilogy of Spider-Man trilogy with Maguire. Whatever I gave it, I can't remember. Did I give it an 8 out of 10 in my last video with Maguire's trilogy? Or a 7 out of 10, I can't remember. I'm getting confused right now. I think whatever I gave it in that last video, that's what I gave it. And I still stand by of that score. If I gave it 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10, I'm not sure right now because I'm a little winded and tired talking video now. So I'm trying to focus on this movie that I'm talking about, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and trying my best not to get sidetracked with you guys. And, so yeah, I like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as a 9 out of 10, I give it. Not as good as the first one, I thought. I like the first one more still. So, and I also like the Spider-Verse, the first Spider-Verse movie more than The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And the first Amazing Spider-Man movie I like more than The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The thing is about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think I honestly like it as much as the sequel to Spider-Verse. You know the sequel to Spider-Verse? Sequel called Across the Spider-Verse? Well, I'm going to talk about that now, and I give that a 9 out of 10. And that's my review on the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and why I give that a 9 out of 10. Now I'm talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales. I give this a 9 out of 10. Because I just have a few things that add to a lot of things in this movie. Like, to me, overwhelming. It's like I just don't understand why are all the real, like, I know, now I'm going to go with spoiler territories, because I don't have to go with spoiler territories to explain what I don't like about this movie, what I do like about this movie, because that's going to spoil twists and turns the movie goes into. So you want to not listen to that shit, stop now, go to a different video, I don't care. But that's my thoughts on the Amazing Spider-Man sequel and the Spider-Verse sequel, and why I give them a 9 out of 10 before I go further. Okay? Now I'm going further. Now. Okay? So, honestly, I didn't really, I didn't understand, well, I thought it was a cool, well, I have mixed feelings to this movie a lot. The sequel to Spider-Verse, like I have mixed feelings to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, you know? The thing is, I really like Miles in this movie. I like how this, well, good news is, I like how this movie did continue the story, even though it wasn't as good as the first one. However, I feel like there was way too many characters in this movie. Seriously, I think this movie should have went with a completely different premise. I mean, for the plot of the movie, like, I think they should have just, like, went for, I mean, I think there was enough conflict in the movie, but at the end, I feel like there's more and more conflict, and I'm not sure we're never going to get the follow-up to this movie. So, and with Miles' character arc and that he goes through, and he has more conflicts and obstacles in his way that he has to overcome to save his dad from being murdered by this new villain called The Spot, who plans on murdering Miles' dad, and this Spider Society, who are variations of the real Spider-Man, because it's revealed that Spider-Man, Miles Spider-Man, is not even a real, genuine variation of the Spider-Man variant of the Mantle, because the spider that was the spider that was bite him in the first one, it's explained in the movie, thanks to Miguel spilling the beans to Miles while trying to kill him, or just beat him up for some reason, because, I mean, I'm assuming he was I was assuming he was trying to kill him, Miles, because he was really rough on Miles and beat the shit out of Miles, and he got a little his tear in his costume and scar on his chest now because of Miguel O'Hara, who's a variation of Spider-Man from the future within the multiverse of this continuity that takes place in he's a Spider-Man variant that's a futuristic Spider-Man, except explained in the movie. So, the spider that bit Miles, that wasn't supposed to bite Miles because that didn't come from Miles' dimension. It was supposed to bite someone else from a different Earth on that's called Earth 42, and that's where Miles ends up. The Earth where Spider-Man never became Spider-Man, and because the Spot, well, kind of accidentally remember the villain, The Spot? He explains in his motivation for hating Miles and wanting to be his enemy and have the Spot be taken. The Spot really wants to be taken seriously, but Miles isn't taking him seriously at first. Not until not until it's too late, when Spot like makes him more powerful than before, and the Spider Society that are variants of Spider-Man aren't really. It seems like in the movie it's kind of hinting at they're not really concerned about the Spot, but more concerned about Miles because he's an anomaly like the Spot. Because he's technically not supposed to have the powers of Spider-Man or supposed to be alive in his timeline. Because the Spider-Man that saved him in the first one wasn't supposed to save him, he was supposed to shut off the clock and let Miles fall to his doom. But to me, that just doesn't. That sounds a little odd, you know. Like Spider-Man will just let that happen willingly if he. It's like and not be okay with it. It's like kind of seems kind of odd for the Peter Spider-Man that we saw, and you know, in the pretty much. I think that's kind of this seems kind of like it seems kind of the opposite of heroic to like let someone die, and Miles finds out that the anomaly shed from Gala, and when he's trying to go home and trying to dish the Spider Society from catching him and stopping him from saving his father. And so I mean, unless I'm reading I mean, I haven't seen I don't know when if there's not going to be a third installment coming out, or when it's going to come out, the third installment to the Amazing Spider-Verse, to the Spider-Verse franchise with Miles Morales. But I enjoy this a lot, and I did enjoy this a lot, but I really think there's a lot of characters in this movie, a lot of Spider-Man variants that I just really didn't care for or felt sorry for. I just felt, the thing is, I have problems. I'm sorry, but what I'm trying to say is, I'm stumbling over my word. I'm trying to say is, I think there's way too many Spider-Man characters in this movie, and if my guess is, if this is a part one of a story, and the next one's supposed to be a part two, does that mean part two is going to be just more action and less character development? Not more character development? And that's why I kind of want to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Because I got a feeling that that's the case, because and this movie it feels kind of rushed at times with like this convoluted characters it has to juggle. Anyway, that's why I give Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the sequel to In the Spider-Verse movie with Miles Morales, I give that a 9 out of 10. The sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, called Across the Spider-Verse, I give a 9 out of 10. Because I really love both movies, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the Spider-Verse 2, called Across Spider-Verse with Miles Morales, but I think it could have been a better, I think it could have been I think like they could have made a better movie than what they, I mean, even though I really like the movie, I think it could have been better, you know. Alright, so yeah, that's why I give these Spider-Man movies a 9 out of 10. Okay, that's my review. And goodbye. Subscribe to grow my subscribers. Hit the thumbs up to like this video. And just comment section below. And let me know if you've seen these Spider-Man movies that I reviewed. And bye-bye, my audience.